Hi, my name is Naomi, and I'm the creator of 2 and or 4. This is part 2 to the video of the making of my cutting craft table. It's not a tutorial. It's just the process that I went through to make it. I'm very happy with the end product. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, I would appreciate your subscribing. I have linked part 1 below. All right, up in the studio, here it is. We're going to put the Calyx units on it. All right, so here they are in the platform. The space in the front is for the DIY bookcase that I'm going to build to house my Cricut and my Silhouette. And now we're going to take one of them back off because we're going to screw in the back molding so that it doesn't shift backwards. All right. So the first unit is in, and that one was actually pretty easy to get in because you don't have the other unit. And so let me see if I can get it to focus. It's screwed in, and now we have to do the second unit, which is a little harder because you have the first one. So what we did was we marked the end holes first. So right there is one end. So we'll do those, and then I will contort my body and get the other screws. Let's go. All right, it's got to be up against here. Okie dokie. Wait a minute. Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to push the screw through just slightly to... so it'll catch in there.
You want to push this one through too? On the side? So I can have a patch.
Here. A little pink screwdriver. I think that one's in there, but go ahead and... and if you think you get it in, go ahead and screw it all the way.
Okay. Still not out. So you think yours is in?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll just do it.
Okay, do it. As long as it's up against the unit.
It is.
All right.
Well, I may have drilled a new hole, but it's in.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, I got this.
Sure?
Yep. Thank you.
Well, this is left-handed. You sure you don't want
I can do it. I was painting left-handed yesterday.
I know you can do it. I just helpful if I...
And actually, it felt...
It might be easier actually doing it the other way you did it because you'll have your your body center better?
I painted left-handed, and at one point I didn't even realize I was painting left-handed. All right. Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
So besides the bookcase unit that's going to be at the end to put my silhouette and my Cricut in, because I don't use them that often, I will then have a top, and I held off on getting a top because I wanted to see how high this really is, and currently it's only about 33 1/8 high, which is not tall enough. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Butcher Block top, which is 1.5 inches, which will then give me almost 35 inches high, which will be perfect for me because I'm short. I'm only 5'1 1/2. And don't forget the half. So at the moment, that's it. I'm going to start building some of the interiors of the calyx that are going to go in. I have some drawers because I keep things in the drawers like my cutters. Then I'm going to turn my attention to building the unit. And all I did for the unit at the end was I bought some melamine shelving, and I'm going to cut that. One board I bought already has the holes for the pegs for the shelves, and the other board is solid, and so I'll end up having to use one of the pieces for the pegs, the one that has the peg holes, but I think I'm going to put it on the bottom, and I'll just turn it upside down, and you won't see the holes. So I'm going to start joining this together. I'm using corner brackets to help me so that when I drill, it'll stay in place. This is such a slippery material. I'm going to try to use a nail to put a little, like, divot in it. Okay. Just so I can get my drill bit in it. that side's done. Only 3 more sides to go. This is the back, which I have some backing board to cover this with. It'll just add some stability. So I have the bookcase laying face down, and I'm going to put this backer that I've cut on it. This will just help stabilize it also a bit more, and also I didn't want to leave the back open. I'll probably start nailing it like on this corner and that corner, and then I'll go all the way around. I make sure that the nail stays straight up. Keep moving this. I'm just putting in the shelf clips. I may decide to add a shelf, but for now, all I'm really housing in here is my Cricut and my silhouettes. I only need 1 shelf. That's it. All right, here are some of the supplies I'll be using. I'm going to be using my palm sander, which I've had forever, 150 grit, which is fine, sandpaper, and then 220. I also have a 220 sanding block if I need it. Then I'm going to be filling with stainable wood filler, all right, which I've already done the second round of. Then after this second round dries and I sand the whole thing again, we are going to use some pre-stain wood conditioner, and this is Minwax. And then we are going to use some wood finish solid stain, which is not really solid because it will show some of the grain through it, and this is going to be white. And I'm trying to remember whether I got matte or satin finish. That's going to be a surprise. And then at the end we will finish it off with 2 or 3 coats of polyacrylic, and it's also Minwax and it's water-based. I have a roller, I have some staining pads, I have some rags and some cloths. I have a chopstick to stir, my paint opener, paint can opener, ear protection, eye protection, and a mask. I'm going to start with just sanding this quickly down. It's not too bad because I'm going to use a 150, which is a fine, and then I'll move to 220. I should have ear protection on, but I don't know where it is. My garage is a total disaster, just like my craft room, and I just want to get started. So I have eye protection and I have a mask for the dust, and we're gonna get started. All right, so I have some Minwax stainable wood filler, and I'm going to do the edges and the spot where the veneer came off. Okay, I'm just going to take just a little bit of it, put it on this Dollar Tree styrofoam plate. And then I'm going to take a little on my spatula, I think it's called, and I'm going to fill that hole. And this particular spot might require another filling once this dries. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to lightly sand the spots that I put filler in, and then there's probably going to be some more spots where I'm going to have to do a second round of wood filler. So there's the second coat of second layer of filler. I'm going to let it dry. All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to do the second sanding. No, we're going to do the sanding of the second layer of wood filler. Okay, so as soon as the wood conditioner dries, which they said about half hour, I'm going to sand the whole top again with 220 and then clean it off, and then we can apply the wood finish paint. Well, it's not really paint. It's made to leave a wood finish showing through, the wood grain showing through. This is the underside, and I did it with a foam brush, and honestly, I wish I had done the other side, and for the second coat for the other side, the top side, I am going to use the foam roller. I'm sorry, I meant roller, not brush. Alright, I'm going to do the second coat on the top, but this time I'm going to do it with the foam roller. I liked the finish that I did on the underside of the board, so it'll be fine for that. And I'll also be using these applicator sponge type things. So I'm lightly sanding it. I think this is a 400 grit, which is really fine. It just needs a really light sanding before you put the polyacrylic on. And then I'm going to wipe it with a barely damp cloth to get all the sawdust off. So I'm just using water-based polyacrylic. This is a clear satin. It's Minwax brand. And then I just use chopstick to stir this. It's hard to see because it's white. All right. I'm not sure I'm getting any down here. Yeah, it's kind of dry. Bug. Okay. Then I'm going to let it dry for 2 hours and lightly sand and put one more coat on. So the first coat of polyacrylic is on. I'm going to let it dry for 2 hours. Then I'm going to come out, lightly sand it again, wipe it off, and put one more coat of polyacrylic and call it a day, because this is a temporary top. And in hindsight, I should have just used the two-in-one stain polyurethane thing and just put 2 coats on it and be done with it. But that's hindsight. Here is the finished table. I still have to attach it to the base, but the finishing is done. It's going to serve my purposes. So these are the little 3/4 inch L brackets that I'm using. And I'm going to put one at every single spot here. All I do is I drill a hole, and I have put some tape just so that I don't go further than that. So I've marked it a little bit shorter than the screw that I'm using. And I'm going to change the screws that go into the calyx unit itself. But for the moment, I'm going to use these so I can get the holes in. I'm going to put longer ones at the end where I made the bookcase. I have a longer one because I used longer screws to make my bookcase. And all I did was... Alright, so I just hold the bracket where I think I want it, and then I'm going to mark the one that goes into the calyx unit with a pencil. I'll take it off, make sure this is going forward. I put it on my mark. I push in so it doesn't slip, and then I drill. Then I put it in reverse, take it out, remember to put it back forward. Okay, put my screw in, take my little screwdriver, make sure it's going forward. Because this is so soft, you really can do it with this little tiny drill that I have, little screwdriver. All right, then I'm going to take this, I'm going to drill up into the hole that's there. Okay. So you can see this is a view from underneath. All right, so there's the top with my cutting mat on it. As you can see, the cutting mat covers most of the entire board, the entire top. So I wasn't too concerned what I made the top out of. And then here, let me pull this cart away. I have my Cricut machine and my Silhouette machine, as well as some Tumblr sublimation blanks that I'm going to be using shortly. Okay, on this side, I have different supplies. I also have my sublimation paper at that end. And I used to have my printers on this side of the room, so it made sense. Now I'm not sure it's making sense. I may rearrange things. I don't know. This side of my table is pretty much embroidery stabilizer, and then in the drawers, like I have supplies there, and my rotary cutters, and my pinking shears there, and some extra scissors, and my brace, which I sometimes need. So that's about it. The table has been working for me really well. So that concludes the making of my craft cutting table, and I have to say I really love it. I'm really enjoying it. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it a thumbs up, if you're not subscribed to my channel. I would also appreciate that, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you have any questions about the making of my craft cutting table, please just leave them in the comments below.